good evening, everyone. It's been a minute since I've been on, I know, but I have been really, really busy. Now, the MobTube Chronicles is doing really well. I want to thank everyone that has plugged it and got it out there. Um, some exciting things are coming up. I'm well into Chronicles 2 because 1 just goes from when we started to Christmas. I think we started around May, June, somewhere around there. And then Chronicles 2 starts from January through to this Christmas. So I've started that and it's coming along fabulously. Anyway, so I didn't do a roundup last week. I've been on people's shows, so you all know what I had to say. We had, what did we have? We had sex, lies, and audio tape, but we're not going to go over that again. It's like, it's been flogged to death. So I think we, had enough of that. So I'm just going to go straight to this week. So first off, I want to start with Stand Up Guy. Now, I was watching his show one night. I was flicking through and he was on, and I did take offense because he was putting up nasty comments about me that people were making in his chat, and he was laughing the cock off himself, and I did take offense to that because I think it's unnecessary. Anyway, it's fine. It's his channel. He can do what he likes. Now then, so I happened to notice the other day there was a thumbnail and it said him and Tony Pizza, I guess, were going to review the MobTube Chronicles. Not that I consider Tony to be necessarily that type of a scholar, but I just thought, okay, well, it's going to be a trashing session essentially. No, and at the same time, having said that, I understand why Tony Pizza would want to defend himself, or Stand Up Guy called it defending himself, but I can understand him wanting to rebut what I had said in the book. But the fact of the matter is, what I said in the book is 100% true. That's what happened. You can only sue people for defamation and slander if what you're saying is a lie. Well, everybody on here watched it, Stand Up Guy. They watched it unfold from the time Tony came into the scene, and they saw what he did. And so what I said was true. And the thing is that I don't think Tony is really comprehending is this book was last year. It's not this year. Chronicles 2 will detail what happened this year. My opinion of him has changed somewhat, not totally, but, I view him differently than I did when he first came on. Like now, the next day he was saying, I enjoyed chopping up the book. See, here's the thing. What happened is Stand Up Guy left me a comment saying that he reviewed my book and he got nothing from me, nothing back from me. And he said, "You're welcome." So I said to him, I actually didn't watch it because I automatically thought it was going to be a bashing show. So why am I going to watch that? I'm not going to bother. And he said, no. He said he didn't have I said, well, I didn't watch it. I thought it was going to be a bashing show. If it was like a fair review, good or bad, that's okay. I don't mind that. But and I appreciate a review, I appreciate it. But if it's a bashing session, then no, you're not going to get a response from me. And I hadn't watched it at this point. So he messaged me back and said, no, he doesn't have a problem with me, and that, he just doesn't want me bashing him. Well, I haven't really bashed him. If I'd have bashed him, you'd know I bashed you. But, I don't view it as bashing you. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Anyway, so I was going to watch he said, go ahead and watch it, you know, and I was going to. And then I think I saw, I think it was Lee. Uh, I watched Lee first, and Lee said that basically it was him talking about the book, them laughing and whatever, and Tony Pizza calling me the N word like 50,000 times. So I don't, I'm not gonna. So I didn't watch it. I'm not gonna watch that. You know, if it's a review where it's you and you're saying whatever, I don't need you know, the chirpers in the background. Now I understand Tiny Pizza wanting to, you know, you called it defending himself, but there is no defense for his bad behavior. It's not slander, it wasn't defamation, it was none of that. That's what he did, you know, for months and months and months. Threatened to kill me, drive through my house. I mean, you name it, he did it, and it's in the book. And so there you go. Anyway, so here's the thing. When Stand Up Guy started his show, I liked his show. I like Sons of Italy, and I felt like it was a good balance, because when Stand Up Guy starts getting irate, I do think he's smart, I do think he's funny, and he's very witty, and he's got that New York thing that I like, you know, where they're quick with the comebacks and they just go. I like that about him. And so but Sons of Italy would mellow him out, you know. And I liked when he talked about being on the movie sets, you know, the actors he met. And, you know, I like his cooking shows. I especially like them lamb chops. They look wonderful with the rosemary and the steaks, and, you know, his breakfast. I love cooking shows because I like to cook. I like to eat. And it's you know, not food that's bad for you either. In fact, you know, if you, I do keto every so often, you know, not all the time, because I do like my some things, but you know, I do it on and off. But in any event, so you know, I liked his show. Then it kind of took a dark turn. And here's the thing, Stand Up Guy. It's not that people, for me, I'll just speak for me. It isn't that I care less who you're friends with. I couldn't care if you have Tony on there, Carlos. I couldn't care less, you know. But what I'm saying is, you know, what I believe is, I know you have Tony on there and he's your friend and whatever, but you also know, you know, the way he is and the way he carries on brings subs and views, you know. And you were counting those subs and views this morning. I watched you, I think you did a show last night and I caught it this morning or something, you know, and you were saying about the guy, the makeup guy that told you, you know, people that talk about you, two more people are talking about you. Basically, what I think you were saying is there's no such thing as bad publicity, which is an old adage, but there is a thing as bad publicity. And calling people the N word and behaving in that way and condoning that behavior isn't good publicity. No, people are going to come and look and see, but then the people that are offended, you know, you're going to get the flack off of that. But that's up to you. That's your show. You do what you want, you know. Now, I do feel Carlos is steering you in a wrong direction. You know, I feel like your channel's now becoming another, like we need another one, a bashing channel, you know. And he's doing that because, you know, obviously at one time Carlos had a wrench in everyone's chat, everybody trusted Carlos, you know. But what really happened here was that, you know, my thing with Carlos, I don't really have a thing with him. You know, I'm not mad at him or nothing like that. But I do see him doing some of the same behaviors that he did in other people's. And they eventually took the wrench from him, you know, with good reason. And the good reason is, you know, for me, is first of all, when he gets up there and he's telling you, You know, he talks the good talk, but he doesn't walk the walk, because he says, I'd never bash women. I never go after women. Well, that's a lie, because what he does is he changes his name to something else. He came into my chat as the Punisher, and then he tried to say he never came in my chat. He did, because he was in my block list, you know, and he would cuss me out as the Punisher, right? So that's one thing. The other thing, he doesn't like doxing. He can't stop this doxing, it's a blah, blah, blah. He's the #1 doxer. In actual fact, Carlos gave the information about Tony Soflo and Nikki Blade to another person. That's how they got all their information, because Carlos got it from someone, and I know who that person is. He got it from someone. They gave it to him, and he gave that information to someone else to put Soflo out there. He did that. And then he gets up on your show and says, oh, I don't like doxing or whatever. And he's the #1 doxer. With MB, he would give her all types of information. He don't, you know, no, I don't like that. And I see him kind of steering you in that direction. And, you know, that's my opinion. Now, the other thing is, I've heard you say, you know, well, I never go on people's shows. I'm not going on their shows. Well, you know, all of this discord right now between you and Lauren, you and Chicago Muscle, and now I heard this morning you bringing Angel into it. This could have all been squashed. Angel invited you on her show last night, and B has invited you several times to discuss it. Chicago Muscle said he has no problem having a discussion with you. You know, he's a reasonable man, although it might not seem like that to you. He actually is. And I think if you had a proper discussion, this all would be squashed. And it would have been squashed with Lauren and whatever you've got going on now with Angel. It could easily be squashed. See, the thing is, you're thinking they want you on their show, you know, just to get subs and views. Hell no, they don't need that, you know. And the thing is, if you did go on their show, if it's subs and views you're worried about, you know, Angel has, I think, close to 5,000-6,000 subscribers. Some of those subscribers are going to look at it and say, well, who's that guy? Let me check his channel out. You're going to gain subs and views just from being on there, you know. Same with Lauren. I think she's got close to 6,000 subscribers. Hold on just 1 second. I'm just going to grab some water. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I had to get it. Hold on. So Lauren has close to 6,000. So some of those people are going to be watching it, and then they'll say, well, who's that guy? And they're going to check out your channel. So your channel will grow either way, you know. And not only that, it creates a nicer atmosphere. You go on other people's shows, they come on yours. It makes them more willing to come on yours, you know. And it isn't so much about, I mean, I don't know what people have been saying to you about having Tony Pizza on there, or, you know, or Carlos. People have their thoughts on Carlos, and I've explained why. As far as Tony Pizza, you know, some people are just not forgiving him about 9/11 and you know, the racial rhetoric. I personally, it doesn't bother me anymore. I don't like it, no, but he is who he is, you know, and there are issues going on there. I mean, that's pretty obvious. So, you know, that's how I feel about it. You know, he's done several videos on me recently, and I haven't responded because I'm not before he used to enrage me. And see, and that's the thing I see in you, stand-up guy. I see a lot of me in you as far as when you first started. When I first started, people would tell me stuff. So-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. And I'd jump on here and I would rant and rave and cuss like a lunatic, you know. And they'll all tell you that, you know. And I see you doing that, you know. So-and-so will say something over here. And the fact of the matter is, after a period, you know, for me, it's been a year and I've learned now, well, kind of. I still do it from time to time, but, you know, I'm learning. You can't react to every single thing. You know, you have to choose your battles. People are not going to, you know, constantly say nice things about you. Excuse me. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm getting over a slight, don't know if it's a cold or allergies. Excuse me. 1 minute it's boiling hot here. Like right now, it's really warm. And then this morning it was freezing. It's just, I don't even know what to wear. But anyway, excuse me. So as I was saying, you know, you have to choose your battles. You know, if you react to every single, you know, if you react every single time somebody says something, you're going to be on here all day. Because I know I would be. And yeah, you know, I get it. It does make you mad. It makes me mad. But, you know, well, some things do. Things that bothered, let me put it this way, things that bothered me when I first started out don't bother me anymore, you know, and maybe that's something you'll just learn. But because not everything is a bash or meant in a, you know, sometimes it can be constructive criticism, you know, and that's all I have to say about it. You know, I didn't watch the review because, you know, I heard that pizza was, you know, calling me the N word 50,000 times. I'm not going to sit and listen to that. I'm just not, you know. But you know, and that's just the way it is. But I would seriously kind of maybe reconsider and consider, you know, your position as far as going on people's shows or, you know, clearing the air, if you will, you know, whether you go on their show, they come on yours. Either way, they have more subscribers than you. So someone's going to look at it and say, oh, who's that guy? Let me take a look. Maybe, you know, it's up to you. It's your, it's your world, sweetie. Anyway, on to the next thing. So, uh, okay, so basically, people that support Chicago Muscle and platform him, you know, they deserve to be, you know, torn apart according to that side, I guess. That's ridiculous. So what I would suggest is the same way that they said about anyone who gives him a wrench. Any of you creators on here that have your own channel, do a show with Chicago Muscle. I intend to do one here very shortly. I've got to get up with him. He's very much in demand at the moment, so I might have to take it, you know, get in line. But yeah, every creator on here that agrees with this side and watching the abuse of all these women, do a show with Chicago Muscle. Yeah, absolutely. I just when you think things can't get any lower, they manage to find a way to go lower. How are you going to go after that Victoria Gotti, a young girl who works her ass off, sweet as can be, has never really said a bad word. I think one time she was in the chat and defended her mother, and so she should, and has every right to. Now you want to go after her. I don't know how you and FBI and Harambe here. I don't know how you go to sleep at night. Harambe, I know how he does because he's a different type of animal in a way. And I don't mean animal, I'm using that as a metaphor. He's a different type of animal than FBI. Harambe was more calculated about what he was doing. FBI is more of a follower. So, that's where that's going. Anyway, I just feel like Harambe is trying to run the same game that others did in prison. I'm not going to say he did because I don't believe he did. He watched others play this game, in prison, where they would have a protector. The weaker ones would have a protector. So he basically came out here doing that in these mob tube streets. He picked the weak ones, and he knew FBI was weak and that he could follow him. Because if you listen to that video somebody put up where I think it was Lee, where they asked him what would happen to FBI in prison, he said it. He said he would have to have someone protecting him. And Nikki Blade right away said he would get slapped. You know what I'm saying? So what SoFlo did was come out and try and run that same game. But the problem with him is he has so many holes in his game that it's just not going to work. He's got more holes in his game right now than a showerhead. And what's happening is, see, this is why they're trying to lay off Chicago Muscle now. It's easier to go after the women. The women are softer targets, or they think. But you're messing with the wrong one with Angel, I'll tell you now. You're going to be, feeling that pretty shortly. But in any event, that's the reason that they want to lay off Chicago Muscle, is because Chicago Muscle is bashing Harambe. I mean, like, I don't know, an Eskimo and a seal. He's bashing the hell out of him. And now the stuff that he's putting up is serious stuff. With his son going to trial, you've got audio of him threatening. Why would you do that and risk? I mean, maybe he's looking at life anyway, but you're not helping there. Definitely not. And now these COVID scams and all this stuff. I mean, you've got too many holes in your game. You should have. If you'd have been cleaner, it might have worked, and you can see everyone's moving away from you. They are. Even your friend of 30 years has moved away from you. The other guys, where are all these panels when you had all these people? Where are they? They're gone. So, you two might want to rethink your strategy here. Going after Victoria is not a good move. Not only is it not a good move, it's not a good look. It's not a good move. She's a young, sweet girl who works her ass off. She doesn't done anything wrong. She's not really even on YouTube. She comes and plays Jeopardy with her mother sometimes. Okay, she was on the other night. They had a little chat. It was all funny stories. What has she done to any of you to even really warrant that? I don't know. But anyway, there it goes. Now let me see. So I've had a lot of people ask me about the other night on Angel's show, when I got into it with this, that girl. Now, I'm not going to go into it again. I explained on the show what took place and why it took place. I'm not going to go into it again. I guess there's she asked basically, I'll just say it. Basically, I felt that I was being poked every time I came into contact with her. It happened more than once. This was time number 3. 3 times was a charm, and boom, boom. So that's what happened. Now, that's the end of it. Are we going to have afternoon tea tomorrow? No. Do I have anything against her? No, I don't know her. And she doesn't know me either. So, no, it is what it is. I said what I had to say. She said what she had to say. And so that's the end of it. But the reason, people are wanting to know what the reason was. And that's the reason. I felt every time I came into contact with her, I was being poked. And I tried to not respond a couple of times. And then the third time, that was it. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear this. I'll try and let's see if you can hear this. Okay, I don't know if you could hear that or not. If you couldn't, oh well, don't worry about it. And if you could, it's very beautiful piano music. Now, so as I've told you all before, my mother is from Ireland, and she comes from a long line of gypsies. So I have a bit of gypsy blood in me. And many gypsies have the gift. Okay. Now, my grandmother had it, and she passed it on to my mother, who passed it on to me. Okay. So, the other day I had this weird experience, but I'm going to see if I can get him back right now. Okay, so give me a second. Let me get my thoughts together. Okay, ready? Okay. Hello, are you there? Okay. What is your name? Okay, people, there's like a group of them, but one is coming forward. He's a tall man. He's got kind of a biggish nose. I'm trying to get his name. What is your name? PC? Your name is PC? Paulie? Paul. Okay, he just said they called him Paulie when he was a young boy, but his name is Paul. And he's showing me, okay, what is that? It's a steak. He's showing me a steak. So, oh, it's Paul Castellano. Are you Paul Castellano? Okay. Wow. Okay. You have a message. Okay, what's the message? Who's the message for? He's saying it's not for anyone in particular, it's for MobTube. Okay, what's the message? Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay. All right. Okay, he's fading away. He's fading away. Oh, they're faded. Okay, they're gone. Okay, so that was Paul Castellano. And I guess his message isn't for anyone in particular, but the message was bada bing, bada boom, forget about it. I don't know what that means exactly, but that was the message. Anyway, that's it from me. That's that's it for me. I was joking. For people, I know there's some crazy people on here that will probably take that seriously. It was a joke, people. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all I've really got to say. There's so much craziness going on, but I am seeing Chicago Muscle is basically single-handedly tearing these people down. You know, he's coming out with hard facts, especially about Harambe. You know, in fact, anyone he goes after. So if they're telling everyone over here don't platform him, then we all need to. Everybody. So let me know, Chicago Muscle, whenever you're ready to. We'll do a show, and anyone that has a channel, get him on there. Anyway, that's it from me. Take care, everyone. I will have a look around tonight, see who's on, and see you next week for my weekly roundup for next week. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye bye.